Understand? So this is the second chapter of working capital management, that is inventory control. In working capital, inventory, even for any kinds of business organization, inventory is one of the most expensive, fundamental and important part. Why? Because either you are doing business in manufacturing segment or in business or in service providing. In both the cases you have to stock material. This stock may be raw material, this stock may be WIP, work in progress, this stock may be finished goods, right? Even this stock may be some components of some goods which is required to provide a kind of service. So in both the cases, whatever the business is, in maintaining the inventory, huge amount of cash you have to provide, you have to put forward. That means you have to invest to build up this inventory. And if you look forward in the smaller business, smaller amount of business, in those cases 70 to 90% of their capital is tied with this inventory. So all this description I'm just saying to you because inventory is one of the most important segment in the business, right? That's why you need some specific consideration on this segment. And this is the reason why business organization maintain some strategy in maintaining the inventory, which is called inventory control. Clear? Inventory. Inventory. So we have already cleared that inventory is very much important, right? Now, and several types of cost is related with inventory. First of all, you need to know what are the different types of cost that is related with inventory. That through this management account or financial accounting, you have to make some decision to control over this cost. It's a preliminary kintu pore ashcho F2 te. So what are the costs related in making the inventory? 1. Capital. Capital tied to purchase any kinds of inventory, that is purchase price. Now the fact is, this capital actually organization normally bring this capital from some different sources. So whenever this capital is invested in purchasing the inventory, against that it may be possible you have to provide interest. হতে পারে না ব্যাংক থেকে লোন নিয়ে এসে ইনভেন্টরি কিনছো, so in that case you have to provide interest. Sorry. After buying the inventory, suppose as for example your supplier is in India, so when you buy this inventory, after buying this inventory you have to provide different kinds of government VAT, right, tax, levies, etc., etc. That is VAT, or you can say tax, different kinds of fees. Customs duty, that is when you import some specific goods actually, so in that case you have to provide customs duty, so those are also duty. Freight transportation charges, that means you have to carry those inventory to your organizational premise, so in that case you have to provide delivery charges or freight transportation charges. Even it may be possible that is you have to insure your inventory, make some insurance. So in against the insurance policy, you have to provide the insurance premium, right? Insurance premium you have to pay. After bringing the inventory to your organization, it may be possible you have to make this inventory in warehouse, keep this inventory in one warehouse. So when you are warehousing the inventory, warehousing charges is there, warehousing charge. So normally these all are actually different types of cost that you have to confront if you make some inventory, right? So you have to confront with different types of cost. That's why there should be a managerial process here. How you can maintain this inventory so that you can minimize this cost. Minimizing the cost is the ultimate goal of a manager, right? So if this is clear to you, that means inventory cash flow is related there, and there are several types of cost is related. So after this discussion, we are very much clear, that is, we have to maintain some inventory control process so that we can maintain or we can control over this cost, right? Now the thing is, inventory position, you can maintain high inventory or even maintain low inventory, right? In every case, you have to confront some different types of cost. You have to make yourself clear about that. When you are maintaining high inventory, all these types of cost, even in that case, warehousing charge will be more, interest charge will be more, interest premium charge will be more, etc., etc. With this, there will be another kinds of expenses that you have to confront. That is spoilage. Spoilage hote pare. Even it may be distortion hote pare. Wastage যেটাকে আমরা বলি, wastage, even theft. So you have to confront these types of cost as well with the previous cost when you are maintaining high inventory. If you go for maintaining the low inventory, in maintaining the low inventory there will be another types of cost. Sorry. Opportunity, cost of lost opportunity. Say if you purchase bulk inventory, that means lot of inventory from the purchaser, it may be possible in that case purchaser will provide you, or the supplier actually provide you kinds of discount on the purchase price. So when you are maintaining low inventory, you will purchase lesser. In that case you are losing that discount. Losing in purchase price. So it's the kind of opportunity cost. Then it may be possible, as you are maintaining low inventory, in any of the circumstances, situation may be such that there is your stock out, your organization actually become a stock out. When a stock out is there, that means manufacturing process halted. It is another types of cost. Cost of stock out. Okay. So cost of stock out. So this is another types of cost when you are maintaining low inventory, low level of inventory. Then within a year, it is obvious that in normal sense, each business organization has some specific demand, right? So as you are maintaining low level of inventory, it is obvious that it will increase your ordering cost, because you have to order number of, so it will increase the ordering cost. Ordering, or you can say setup cost. So in both the cases you have to confront different types of cost, right? Now the fact is, why you are maintaining, or why you are stocking inventory, or why you are going for stocking? Can you stock it, right? Obviously there are some kinds of benefits regarding this, right? Without benefit, organization cannot go for any sort of things. Now the thing is, these are the cost. Now we have to look for the benefits. benefits. Benefits, that means if you want to avoid these kinds of cost, in that case you have to go for making inventory. If you want to smooth your supplying process, supply line, you have to maintain inventory. If you maintain continuous relationship with the customer and want to provide whenever demand arises, you have to maintain inventory, right? So in every aspect benefit is there, right? Now the thing is, from this cost versus benefit, so what do you mean by inventory control? Inventory control is a systematic process, and systematic process here the organization try to make some balance between cost and benefit analysis. Through this cost and benefit analysis, organization actually take two different decisions. One is organization maintain the minimum possible amount of stock to minimize the total stock related cost. This is number one. Number two, minimum এর একটা নির্দিষ্ট পরিমাণ আছে তো। This minimum should be such and the minimum amount should be such that so that you can avoid the stock out problems. Clear? That means at the same time you have to avoid the stock out problem, and you have to stock such that so that you can managing or control the best possible control over the cost related to the stock. This is all about cost and benefit analysis, and which is called inventory control process. Clear? So these are the conceptual part of inventory control. Now we will go through the calculation, management calculation process. Theories of inventory. Whatever the different types of cost we have already discussed in relation to the making inventory, those costs can be divided into two different groups. Stock holding cost, which is symbolized by CH. Another is stock ordering cost, symbolized by CO. So whatever the different types of cost we have already discussed related to the inventory, depend upon the criteria, we can divide those costs in these two different segments. Now the thing is, CH, stock holding cost. Stock holding cost is interest related to the interest that you have to provide on the capital tied with the purchase price, right? Interest. Insurance premium, warehousing charge after being the then even several types of cost. Suppose as for example, this pen is a finished goods, right? First of all, you have to bring different kinds of raw material, purchase price, interest, warehousing charge, etc., etc. After that, you have to convert the raw material into this finished goods. So whatever the cost related to this, these all are stock related cost. So that is cost related to convert the current position. Clear? So here we will add all kinds of overheads, production related overheads. So normally these are all the stock related holding cost. So if you add all these cost, it will provide you the total holding cost. Normally this is symbolized by CH, holding cost. Now the thing is, you have to focus here. This CH actually calculated by per unit holded. That means as a for example, you stock 5 metric ton. So what will be the holding cost of per individual metric ton? As for example, 5 metric ton holding cost is, suppose as for example, $10. So per metric ton holding cost is $2. So this CH actually calculated by per unit holded. Clear? And here in the case of ordering cost, carrying cost, or you can say freight transportation charge or delivery charge, this is and another cost is administrative expenses. Administrative expenses. So when you add up these two kinds of cost, it will provide you the stock ordering cost, which is symbolized by CO. But the fact that you have to memorize, that is this CO calculated by per order, not unit. That is, within a order, you can order 5 metric ton, 6 metric ton, 10 metric ton, or more than that, even less than that. So how much you are making an order, that is not the factor. The factor is one order. Clear? Suppose within a year you have made order 10 times and total cost is, suppose as for example, $100. So per order is $10. So each individual order, it can be comprised with different kinds of measurement, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., etc. That doesn't matter. Clear? এই দুইটা মনে রাখতে বলছি এখানে পেছনে কারণ আছে, because when you are going for making some calculation, these are two important things in going for that. One is CH is calculated by per unit holded, CO is calculated by per order, not the amount in each order. So we have already discussed earlier, inventory means cost. At the same time, you are bound to making some inventory, right, for having benefit. So you have to make some trade-off between these two things, right? এখানে যে আলোচনাটা এখন বলতেছি এটা হচ্ছে F2 থেকে আসছে একটা বক্স, তোমাদের এই বইতে নাই, কিন্তু বক্সটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট তোমাদের জন্য। One is so suppose you are the manager. In that case, what will be your focus? In that case, your focus will be minimize the cost. The stock related, all kinds of cost to be minimized. So if you want to TCH and TCO, if you want to lower this holding cost, how you can go for that? If you want to lower the total holding cost, in that case you have to hold, average holding will be lower. You have to hold lesser amount of inventory, right? So how you can do this? This is by holding lesser quantity. It will affect here. That is, normally we assume that is annual demand of anything D is certain. Within a business organization, demand for material or demand for stock is certain. Annual demand is certain. So now the fact is, here you want to lower the holding cost. How you can go for that? You can do it by holding lesser quantity. It will affect here. How? As for example, your average annual demand is 20 metric ton. Suppose initially you hold it 10 metric ton. That's why to have 20 metric ton, you have to provide 2 times order. Now to lower the holding cost, you take a decision to hold average 5 metric ton. That's why when you lower this average holded amount, to fulfill this demand, number of order will increase. And obviously it will increase the total ordering cost. Increase the TCO. At the same time, if you want to lower the TCO, if you want to lower this, how you can do this? How you can go for this? To lower the total ordering cost, you have to decrease the number of order. Number of order. Now if you decrease the number of order, that means, as for example, to bring 20 metric ton as a whole, initially you put 5 times order. That means each and every time you are providing how much? That is 4 metric ton. Now you are desiring to lower this order. That means number of order should be reduced. Rather providing 5 times, you want to provide 2 times order. In that case, your holded amount, average holded amount, is obviously increase. So it will increase the average stock. Obviously TCS will increase, so it's a problem. If you want to reduce one, another will be affected, right? If you want to reduce this, it will affect the another. That's why we have to go for a specific model. So the question is, quantity to be, how much quantity that you have to put forward, right? So that you can maintain the costing minimum level. That is called EOQ. Economic Order Quantity. সূত্র তো তোমরা জানো, 2COD by CH. Now the thing is, here EOQ, economic order quantity, represent a specific quantity, that much to be ordered, that much to be stocked, so that you can maintain the minimum level. Minimum means en niche ar jaba, least, so that you can maintain the minimum level of TCO and minimum level of TCH. And as you are maintaining minimum level of TCO and TCH, obviously this quantity will provide you the minimum charges regarding stocking. So as আমরা এই জন্য স্ট্রেট ফরওয়ার্ডলি বলি, EOQ provide us a specific quantity, that much to be ordered, that much to be stocked, so that we can maintain the minimum amount of stock related annual cost. Clear? এখন আসো এই স্টক রিলেটেড অ্যানুয়াল কস্টের গ্রাফটা যদি দেখো, তোমাদের এই গ্রাফ থেকে আবার কিছু যে এমসিকিউ টাইপের কোশ্চেন, এখানে ওই গ্রাফগুলাই আছে। এটা বললাম গ্রাফ দেখে, গ্রাফ সাপোজ CH, আমরা দেখি CH, we have already discussed this holding cost is calculated by per unit. So that's why this holding cost is acted just like the variable cost per unit, just like the variable cost. So that's why when you are holding 0 unit, your cost is 0. As you are increasing the level of holded amount, a certain, a constant amount of holding cost should be increased. That's why this can be represented through straight line equation. Here TCH and here the quantity included. Clear? This is holding cost. And CO. See, the total ordering cost actually increase or decrease depend upon the number of order, right? If you increase the number of order, in per order your average amount that you are placing in the order will be reduced. If you lower the number of order, in each and every order you have to provide larger amount of orders, larger quantities order, right? That's why the line is just like the fixed cost per unit line. See why? If you order this much, huge amount of quantity, number of order is lowered. That's why total ordering cost is this much. As you are lowering the quantity ordered per order, number of order increases and the total ordering cost also increases. Clear? So when you add up these two graphs as a whole, that is by combining these two graphs, we can have the EOQ graph. EOQ graph, that is, this is TCH, this is TCO, and this will be the total stock related cost. See, this is the EOQ model, EOQ quantity. EOQ quantity. We have discussed that is, if you provide order according to your EOQ, it will minimize your TCH and TCO. Minimize means least. ওর নিচে আর যাবে না খরচ। খেয়াল করো। At this position, if you order this much quantity, at this position, your total ordering cost is more than this, but your holding cost lowered. Your holding cost lowered, but ordering cost increase. If you go beyond this position, if you order this much, your ordering cost lowered, but holding cost increases. So that's why this is the position where your holding cost as well as ordering cost will be the minimum, not less than that. তুমি যেখানে যাও এর নিচে যাবে না। বুঝা গেছে? একটা গেল আরেকটা বেড়ে যাচ্ছে। That's why this is the EOQ quantity, and if you go through, as we are combining two different graphs, so this much is TCH as well as TCO. So from this graph we step forward to have some assumption, EOQ related assumptions. মনে পড়তেছে এগুলা assumptions? কি assumptions আছে? Number 1, at EOQ your TCH will be equal to TCO, obviously. Number 2, TCH holding cost will be holding cost per unit into not the total number of holded amount, holding cost per unit into average level of stock. And what do you mean by average stock? The stock is EOQ by 2 or EOQ by 2 plus safety inventory, if safety inventory is a kind of strategy for the business organization. Then TCO for TCO, total ordering cost will be ordering cost per order into number of order, and number of order it is demand by EOQ, right? Then end of the day, TAC, total annual cost, that means the stock related annual cost will be your TCH plus TCO plus TP, total purchase price is also a kind of cost, total purchase price of the raw material or inventory. Clear? So up to this level of discussion we are very much clear, that is, to maintain the minimum level of inventory related cost we have to go for EOQ, quantity to be ordered, quantity to be stocked. Clear? Now তাহলে আমরা দেখছি এই যে in maintaining low level of inventory, business need to confront some other kinds of cost as well. কি হতে পারে? আমি যেহেতু ইওকিউ বলতেছি কি অনেক বেশি থেকে কম রাখতেছি, তাহলে ওখানে আমার দেয়ার মে বি এ স্টক আউট কস্ট, ইভেন দেয়ার মে বি এ অপরচুনিটি কস্ট. What is the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is, that is, in that case you may lose taking the discount on purchase price, right? So bulk stock, it may be possible or discounting, এটাও তোমাদের এখানে আছে discounting. That means in some cases situation may be such that you have to, being a manager, you have to take the decision whether you stay with EOQ or order more than EOQ, because there is a discount offer by the supplier if you go for massive purchase, bulk inventory. তাহলে in that case you have to compare between EOQ and bulk. See, first of all, TCH means holding cost per unit into average level of inventory, that is EOQ by 2, but here it will be CH, holding cost per unit, into bulk by 2. Bulk means more than EOQ, so obviously CH may be equal. Even here also may be discounting, right? But whatever the case is, CH, suppose as for example for our discussion we assume CH constant, but bulk divided by 2 is more than EOQ divided by 2, so obviously it will increase the total holding cost. TCO, if you go for that, CO into demand by EOQ, but here CO into demand by bulk. See here, suppose as for example your quantity demanded, annual demand is 20 metric ton, your EOQ is 4 metric ton, so number of order is 5, but here bulk is obviously more than the EOQ. Suppose bulk is 10 metric ton, so number of order is 2. So with the bulk your number of order will go down, so obviously it will decrease the total ordering cost. Then TP, total purchase price means quantity demanded annually into price per unit. Here that same demand, but here purchase price will be lesser, suppose as for example lesser, because you are provided discount offer by the supplier, that's why obviously this will decrease. Now you have to add these 3 components and add these 3 components, then you have to make comparison between these 2 things. If the total stock related cost is more reduced or huge amount of reduction is there in the case of bulk, in that case you can go for bulk purchase. Here, so comparison may be there. এটার অঙ্ক আছে আমাদের এখানে. So we have already discussed how much to be ordered in the stock, right? Now the question is when to be ordered. এটা চলতেছে, when to be ordered. আমি কিন্তু ভিডিওগুলো আবার তোমাদের যে ইমেইল করে দিচ্ছি, বুঝছো? When to be ordered, কখন তুমি অর্ডার করবা? When to be ordered means first of all you stock, suppose as for example this is your warehouse, you stock full, as you are using this raw material or stock, it will obviously reduced. Now the question is in which position you gonna be provide order to your supplier for replacement. শেষ হলে অর্ডার করবা, অর্ধেকে অর্ডার করবা নাকি কোন পর্যায়ে? That is end of the day if you make the order, even it may take some time to make the replacement. As for example, suppose you order one of your supplier who is in Dhaka. After making the order, normally it requires 2 to 3 days for this delivery, right? So if you order this end of the stock, in that case your production process will be halted or collapsed for that 3 days or 2 days, right? But your production process should be run continuously. So now the question is when to be ordered, when, কোন পর্যায়ে গিয়ে এটাকে আমরা বলছি this is reorder level. This reorder level is uses into lead time. Lead time is the time gap between placing an order and having that order. Lead time is the time gap between placing an order and having the order. Suppose, as for example, today, if you place an order, one of your supplier who is in Dhaka, it requires 2 days or maximum 3 days. Suppose, as for example, 3 days to have that order. That is lead time. Clear? Another is uses. So if both uses and lead time are constant, in that case your reorder level should be used into lead time. But if these are not constant, in that case that will be maybe there may be maximum uses, minimum uses, maximum lead time, minimum lead time. থাকতে পারে এরকম. In that case max uses into max lead time. Clear? Now inventory MGT, management process. According to your syllabus, there are 3 different ways how you can go for managing the inventory. Bin card, bin system, bin physical check, JIT, just in time. So bin, see, according to bin আমরা এটা ওই পেজে দেখাই। bin system, 2 bin or 1 bin. Bin, just think about the basket A, B, and here 1 bin system, 1 basket. Suppose these are the 2 baskets, as for example, for making the explanation. These 2 should be fulfilled. You will use the inventory from A basket. When A basket inventory is ended, you start using the inventory from the B basket. But before that, you will make an order for the replenishment. When replenishment comes, until the replenishment actually comes forward to your organizational premises, you will continue your manufacturing by using the material from the B. When the replenishment comes forward, you will replenish B first, then replenish A, then use inventory from A. Now the question is, so here is the important question. The question is how much to be stocked here in B. তাহলে B তে কতটুকু রাখবো? The fact is we'll start using material from B after ending the material from A. And the another fact is we have to use this B until the replenishment comes forward. That's why we need to know our uses and even lead time. And from these uses and lead time, we have to make some assumption. That is, as for example, after providing the order, lead time is 2 days. Lead time is 2 days. And average in each and every day, my uses is suppose 10 metric ton. So after ending this, when I'm putting the order, I have to stay 2 days. And within these 2 days, to run my business organization, I need 20 metric ton of a kind of inventory, right? So here the B should be fulfilled, or B should be filled with at least 20 metric ton plus some safety inventory. That means B তে আমরা কতটুকু রাখবো? The question is such like that. The question is safety inventory plus minimum required in lead time. Clear? Okay. A, without using 2 bin card, we use only 1 bin card. And here there are several kinds of marking, and this marking may be minimum marking, maximum marking. Maximum marking, minimum marking. So if your raw material comes in the minimum marking, in that case you have to make the order for the replacement. Even it may be at the maximum. If your stock level reaches to the maximum level, in that case you have to shut down the replacement order. So this is done by 1 bin card system. So you have to find out minimum level and maximum level. Min level, max level. Both are threatened level for the management. In the min level, immediate replacement is required. In max level, shut down the continuous process of replacement. Minimum level and maximum level. Maximum level কি কর? Reorder level plus reorder quantity হচ্ছে আমরা যেগুলো করে আসলাম, reorder quantity minus average uses into average lead time. Our minimum level equal to reorder level minus এই সূত্রটা এটা একটু দেখে নিও আগে। আছে শীট আছে? আচ্ছা আমি দেখে বলে দিব না পরে। এই সূত্রটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট, মিনিমাম লেভেল আর ম্যাক্সিমাম লেভেল এরকমই, রিঅর্ডার লেভেল প্লাস রিঅর্ডার কোয়ান্টিটি প্লাস মাইনাস, এটা মনে হয় মিনিমাম ইউজেস, মোস্ট প্রবলি মিনিমাম ইউজেস, সরি মিনিমাম ইউজেস মিনিমাম লিড টাইম। আর মিন লেভেলে রিঅর্ডার লেভেল মাইনাস অ্যাভারেজ ইউজেস ইন্টু অ্যাভারেজ লিড টাইম। তারপর আমি সূত্রটা নেক্সট ক্লাসে বলে দেবো। সো দিজ আর 1 bin card system, right? It may also be physical checkup, physical check, inventory B, physical count. Normally in the case of physical count, there will be a specific time period after which the business organization need to physically check the inventory. As for example 4 weeks, as for example each and every weeks. Suppose it is your usual procedure or strategy in your business organization that you will physically count your inventory each 2 weeks later. তার মানে প্রতি 2 সপ্তাহ পর পর তুমি ইনভেন্টরি চেক করো, right? That is physical count. But the fact is, when you count your physical inventory, when you physically count the inventory, there should be a such amount. What amount should be there? এখানে একটা কোশ্চেন আসে, তাহলে what amount should be there? ওখানে যে ইনভেন্টরিটা কাউন্ট করলাম, আমি চেক করলাম, সেখানে একটা নির্দিষ্ট অ্যামাউন্ট থাকতে হবে। কতটুকু থাকতে হবে? দ্যাট ইজ আজকে আমি চেক করলাম, আফটার জাস্ট 2 weeks I will count it another time. So within these 2 weeks the stock should be such that so that I can use that stock for that another 2 weeks. Plus some stock which is related to the required in the case of lead time. ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে 2 সপ্তাহে আমার একটা মিনিমাম রিকোয়ারমেন্ট লাগবে, because I will check in after just 2 weeks. So within these 2 weeks the inventory should be a minimum level which to be used. Plus মনে করো ওই সময় শেষ হয়ে গেলে I will order the stock. After making the order there will be obvious some lead time. এই লিড টাইমেও কিছু রিকোয়ার্ড থাকতে হবে। সো দিস টু শুড বি দ্য স্টক ওয়েন ইউ ফিজিক্যালি চেক এনি কাইন্ডস অফ ইনভেন্টরি, ততটুকু থাকতে হবে। বোঝা গেছে? অ্যানাদার ইজ জিট, জাস্ট ইন টাইম। জাস্ট ইন টাইম অ্যাকচুয়ালি try to avoid making inventory. The main focus of just in time is make the production when your customer demand, just in time. Not make any kinds of inventory, because in the case of JIT system, inventory is inefficiency. Production কখন করবা, that is flow of inventory and production process should be such that it should be continuous process, and such that you will make the production only when customer demand, and when production is there, there should be kinds of inventory, but you never maintain some stock, because stocking is JIT is inefficiency, presence of inefficiency. Clear? So these are the defined kinds of inventory management process. This is all about inventory control. বোঝা গেছে এটা? এইটা টেস্ট টু আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং বললাম না এই কারণে, এটা ইজি, তুমি নিজে করতে পারবা, দেখে ফেলবা বই থেকে। ওই লালটা একটু চাপতাম, লাল একটা বাটন আছে না?